See, right here, got the proof to show it. Hi everyone, Tina Bell here. This video series is going to be me reporting on my experience with getting the COVID-19 vaccine. I'm very fortunate and lucky to be in phase 1 and I'm proud to have the vaccine. But since I got it early and before phase 2 and phase 3 is rolled out, I want to give you guys a little bit of information and just my experiences as they unfold. I just want to preface this video with a couple of disclaimers, one of them being I am not a medical professional. I do work in the healthcare industry. That's why I got early access to the vaccine. That's why I'm bringing you guys some preliminary information and completely subjective information about my personal experiences with the vaccine. Everybody is different. Everybody's body is different. And so you may have different experiences and all of them are valid and 100% should be talked about with your healthcare professional and provider. So I just got the first dose. It's here. I chose my left arm to get it put in because it's my non-dominant arm. The actual experience, I went in, got registered, they scanned my ID, they told me I was getting Pfizer, they told me to go into the room, and when I went up to the registration desk, they pointed me to which nurse would be administering the vaccine. It's just whomever is usually available earlier. I was told when I was waiting in the elevator to get down to the facility that I should expect a wait. So this one girl said she waited up to 45 minutes for the first dose of the vaccine. So I didn't have any wait, I just went right in. And in fact, she was like, oh wow, you got really lucky. I had to wait for 45 minutes last time. So do expect a little bit of a wait. You go up to the nurse, she got my consent. She said, do you consent to being treated? She had me sign a little paper just to say that I do consent to being treated. She asked me which arm was my dominant arm. I told her my right, so she put it on my left. And it was just really considerate when she put it in. And I'm gonna preface this by saying I am a big fat baby. When it comes to needles and shots, I despise shots, truly. And I have a lot of medical conditions and complications throughout my life. I look at the disclaimers very, very seriously because I'm almost always that 0.00001%. So if you feel like you're in that category and you're worried and cautious about getting the COVID vaccine, I'm there with you. I completely understand. You should always be really skeptical of anything that's being put in your body and you should do your research, but they provide you with all of those resources. And I am also a resource for you guys to ask questions because my partner is a doctor. He explained to me sort of the scientific light version of what the vaccine does and how it works, and I'm happy to provide you guys with that information. That being said, I'm a huge baby when it comes to getting shots. When I was younger, I used to have like 5 nurses get called in to hold me down so that they could give me my shots and my boosters and my vaccinations when I was a kid. So it works similarly to sort of the boosters you get when you're younger, which, I mean, luckily you sort of forget because you're too young to remember just how painful they are a lot of the time. But because they go straight into the muscle, it does create more tenderness at the site where they put it in. That's to be expected because they are injecting it into the muscle. And I expected it to be more painful. I have gotten what's called subdermal shots for allergy tests. So if you have allergies and you've ever been allergy tested, they sort of basically like go in between the layers of your skin so they don't shoot it directly into the muscle, which is usually the most painful. But they go like in between your skin layer. That was honestly far more painful than this COVID shot. And my flu shot this year was more painful than the COVID shot that I got. I was just as shocked as you guys are. I was anticipating some big, huge pinch of pain, bare minimum. Like, definitely was expecting a shot feeling. I definitely was expecting like that twinge of like, I just got punched in the arm. But I honestly didn't have any of that. I really didn't feel it at all. It was the most bizarre thing. It was the best shot experience I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm not just saying that. I have no agenda here. I am an extremely skeptical person. I'm very mindful of what I put in my body. It's very important, but at the same time, I am just at a higher risk because of the nature of my work and also because I have asthma and allergies. So I wanted to make sure to do all of my research. I already did all the research for you guys. Of course, everyone is different. Every nurse that's going to be administering these or doctor that's going to be administering these vaccines are going to be different too. So just because I had this experience doesn't necessarily mean you will too. But I just want to share with you guys a little bit about my experience and how it went. So after they gave me the shot, which I mean, if she honestly hadn't said you're all set, I'm not really sure that I would have known that she gave me a shot. She marked my little card saying, with her initials, saying, yep, you have the vaccine. And she said, okay, now wait at the chairs. There was a bunch of chairs in the room and they were all socially distant. They were 6 feet apart. You have to wait for about 15 minutes after you get your vaccine to make sure that you don't have an adverse reaction or an immediate allergic reaction. Now they say in the email, and they'll emphasize when you're there, and they'll ask you when you're there, if you have any allergies to the ingredients in the shot. Even if you've done your research like I did and checked the ingredients, you may not know if you're allergic to the contents of the vaccine or not. A lot of the times is the first time you might be exposed to some of these things. That's perfectly okay. There are doctors, nurses, pharmacists on staff that will be there for you in the event that you do have an adverse reaction. It is very, 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 very rare. Of course, I read the articles that all of us read that are so scary, that say things like people had these horrible reactions. What you need to realize, there's been already nearly 20 million plus people who have gotten the COVID vaccine at this point, before I even got mine. And of all of them, we get very, very few cases and reports of adverse side effects outside of just sort of allergic reactions, which of course sometimes can be avoidable, sometimes it is predicted and anticipated, and sometimes is just totally random and unlucky and unfortunate. And the other thing to consider too is that your body is going to have an immune response, an automatic immune response to anything. You ever heard of people saying, hate getting the flu shot because I feel like I get sick after I get the flu shot, so I don't like getting it because I don't want to get sick? That's not necessarily what's happening. What your body is doing is it's doing its job, essentially. It's saying, oh, there's something foreign, something that I've never seen before in my body. So all of your immune cells and white blood cells are attacking this foreign substance, are doing their job. That's what they're supposed to do. You want your body to be attacking any foreign substance. Sounds weird, but it's actually your body doing its job. I can go into immunology further in a totally separate video. That's a completely separate topic, and I could go on and on and on about it. But basically, if you feel any of these symptoms, as long as they're mild, it's your body doing its job. And they give you a handout, which is amazing. I read up on it in the 15 minutes that I had to wait there to make sure I didn't have any adverse side effects, which I did not experience, fortunately. And you'll get the handouts, and of course, if they don't give you handouts, make sure to ask for them, because they should be providing you with literature and they should be equipping you with all of the information that you need to feel comfortable. It's your body, it's your health at the end of the day. Yes, I 100% recommend that everyone get the vaccine as soon as it's available to them, because the more people are vaccinated, the sooner this will be in our rearview mirror. And I think we all want that, right? Regardless of what your beliefs are of how this entire situation has been handled and all of the horrific trauma that we've collectively experienced at the hands of this disease spreading so rapidly and fatally, I think we can all agree we don't want to continue living our lives this way. And getting the vaccine is the only way that we can be moving forward and towards a future that does look brighter. And as always, I hope and wish you and yours, if you're watching this, all of the health and wellness and happiness in the world. Truly, I come at you with no agenda. I just want to give you some information about my personal experience. Everyone's going to have different experiences. Everyone has had different experiences with COVID. It's affected them in different ways. All of your concerns and trepidations surrounding this vaccine are valid. My intent is always education, that's it. It is not ever to spread misinformation, to force my opinions on you. This is just my experience, and it was a relatively positive one. This was just my first dose of the vaccine. This is day 1 post-vaccine, so take all of this with a grain of salt. You are to be monitoring your symptoms, of course, until the second dose and then even after the second dose, but primarily in the first 3 days after each dose is when you're most likely to experience some adverse reactions, if you do at all. So thank you guys so much for watching this long. I'm sorry that this was a little bit long, but I wanted to make sure to give you all of the information that I had so that you can make an informed decision to protect yourself and equip yourself with the knowledge necessary to feel prepared and empowered in your healthcare. Thanks guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ask me any questions below. I'm happy to answer them, and I'm happy to go into my second dose of the vaccine, thinking about your questions and thinking about you and your health and your concerns, because that's what I care about. I love you all. Thank you.